Hello everyone and welcome to Nerd Goblin Art. I'm Lula. I have taken out my Keyring moulds. Now these are from Moulds and Shapes and they are excellent quality, they really are. And I got these beautiful stickers, and yes, Halloween was a couple of days ago, but I'm still in the zone. I'm still in the zone. Ignore this bit. I do not end up using this colour, although it probably would have been better than the choice that I made, but it is what it is. And I've also got this super giant jar of glitter, and it is very pretty. So I need to make up some resin, so there is something that I definitely need to do, and of course that is, yes, gloves, which means magic, and it also means we have to do something. Let's go play. So I have made up some epoxy resin from Craft Resin, and this is Midnight Blue from Just Resin. Now I realized I haven't even opened up this pot. I just took off that lovely, the seal, just took off the seal, and I'm like, why haven't I used this yet? And look at it, look at that color. It is stunning. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm making sure to mix this in really well. It is impressive. I really like it. I think it's one of my another new favorite to add to my my very vast list of likes of colors. It is very pretty. It's a very navy blue, isn't it? It's quite dark, but very nice regardless. I'm going to add some of this glitter into the mix as well. Now, I found this, well, I say I found it, it's Stacey's fault. The Stacey Nails fault. She pointed me in the right direction, so I ordered some. And it's going to last me forever, I think. I think it's going to last me forever. And that is from Temu. I will list it in the description box below. And just mixing that in a little bit. And I've also split the resin into a second cup so that I didn't make a big old mess. And also because I didn't want any flash cures, because of course a lot of resin sitting in that cup. It can heat up quite quickly. So they've all been mixed up, and I've just sprayed in some Isopropanol Alcohol. I'm not using my debubbling machine today. I just thought, you know what, my room, I made sure my resin was warmer today, and yeah, I used my mixer, so not a great deal of bubbles made, and I figured, let's do it without using the debubbler, just to see how well we do. And of course the craft resin is pretty good for degassing also. I have made up a little bit too much, surprise, as usual, because once again I was in my head filling the the molds completely, and the funny thing is that there's never been a time where I filled these molds for without having a purpose of putting something in them. So I really don't know where I get that idea from. So I'm just making sure to scrape off and get all the resin out as much as I can, and I'm doing my best actually. I'm challenging myself not to make too much of a mess, so I'm taking my time a little bit. I also decided not to speed up the video today because I figured, you know what, let's do a really friendly beginners kind of video, so not too much rushing and pushing through. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. I really truly appreciate it. And my members also, you are all rock stars. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost you anything, it's the click of the button. And also there's a bell that you can dingle down there, and by hitting that bell it means that you're not going to miss any of my uploads, which is really cool also. So I think I've put in the amount that I'm happy with. I didn't want to go too high, but I have plenty left over. So I've got this cat mould is becoming a firm favourite at the moment. It's a cat keyring mould, and I got that from BB Craft. Yes, BB Crafts, but I think I've seen it available from other places. It was sent to me when they were doing their they used to do 100 subscribers, and then you could like review molds for them, but I believe they've stopped doing that. If I can find a link, of course I will share it. And let's give this one a whirl. I've only poured this Millennium Falcon once, and I don't believe I filmed it. I just poured it because I wanted to make a keyring for Mr. Goblin, and I thought let's film this one. And it is a really cool mold. I did originally get it just in case I wanted to use it for the May the 4th be with you collaboration back in May. I didn't end up using it, so giving it a little squeeze, giving it a little tap, and using my silicone tool, because there's a little bit of detail where any bubbles can hang on. And it's the same with the keyring mold as well. You do need, even if it's circular, you still need to carefully run your silicone tool around the base of it, because bubbles do like to hang on, even at the bottom of the keyring mold. So just be wary of that, and maybe keep your eye on it for half hour or so, because bubbles can just appear. I'm going to use a combination of the isopropyl alcohol and my heat gun just to help any of the bubbles. Now, because I used my dual head mixer from Resiners, they very kindly sent me that some time ago. It really does help with decreasing the amount of bubbles, because of course when you stir in the resin, that is when you do bring in bubbles. So if you're new to resin, you either have to stir very gently to not introduce all those bubbles, or I do highly recommend the dual head mixer from Resiners, and there is a link in the description box below, and there are also discount codes. It is a great it's a brilliant piece of kit to have available to you, and it saves a achy wrist as well. I have fibromyalgia, and I also have hypermobility, so it can be a bit achy, because you're encouraged to stir these for good 4 to 5 minutes, but the mixer really takes that away for you. So another spray of some isopropyl alcohol, because I could see some bubbles coming up, and I'm just going to cover this over and let the heat mat work its magic. So these are all cured. It's 2 hours later, nicely cured, and this is where I'm going to pop these stickers on. They are rub-on stickers, but they're a little bit different to what I usually get. And I realised, because I was looking at them, and I was like, oh, okay, you've got to take the whole top layer off. It's not just like a singular thing. So fair enough. So I chose the ones that I liked the most. Now, admittedly, the colour isn't the best. I admit it. I think, if you've been with me a minute, I tend to think that my colour decisions are in general very, very good. The ones that with the cats and the large moons are absolutely perfect. I think that works. But the ones where the cats are more or less on their own, they're lost a tiny little bit. but not terribly, not really, really badly, but I like them regardless. So they really fit these molds really, really well too. But I've got a bunch more stickers as well, so I'll either save them for another time, well, obviously they're going to be safe for another time. I'm not just going to throw them away because you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But I might just leave them till next year and maybe bring them out more for Halloween next year because I will be doing the 12 days of Halloween collaboration again because I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I love them, but perhaps I should have used all the stickers that had the moon in the background, perhaps. But I still think that they work. I really do think that they work. Yeah, they work. So there. So just making sure that they're well stuck down. And if you happen to get any bubbles anywhere, you can just use a tool if possible. Obviously, the squeegees are too big for this particular mold. So I tend to use the tool that I got with one of my mixers. It's like solid plastic and got a hook on one end and there it is. And I find it really is helpful. And it's just making sure that any bubbles are, not there and that it is well stuck down, because you don't want the sticker to come up during the curing process. Because if there's not enough purchase, you do risk the stickers trying to curl up on you if they are not down properly. And of course, you're not going to see the lines. You won't see the lines of the stickers. These ones, they're a funny sticker. I genuinely thought these were UVDTF ones, but they're not. They came, the fronts came off, and then the sticky bit of the back. You know what I mean? I think I know what I mean. But anyway, there we go. I'm adding some Super Sparkle White to my epoxy resin, and I'm still using the same resin. I'm using craft resin, and there is a link in my description box if you would like a discount on that. Please do use it. They're always useful, and it does save you a few pennies here and there. And I'm spoiler alert, I have made up way too much resin again. I don't know why. And I knew it wasn't going to take a load because I only needed to top up the little bit on top, just to, cover these stickers up and fill the last tiny little bit. But still, my brain continued to go, no, add more. But there we are. I'd rather have too much than too little, and I always have something sitting by me ready, as you saw in the first part with the cat and the Millennium Falcon. And I'm just going slowly and I'm taking my time. If you are lucky enough to have the skill of doming, which I do not, don't spray them. If you get a lovely, what's doming? That's probably something worth explaining if you're new to this medium. Is a dome? It's like what looks like almost like a bubble on top, so it kind of sits really perfectly on the surface. Do not spray isopropyl alcohol if you manage this, because you will break the surface tension and that excess bit of resin will run down and it'll cause a mess on your silicone, on the silicone mold. And then that means it's going to be quite a big cleanup afterwards, and you don't want to have to deal with that. It's just a pain. It's just a pain. And of course, don't overfill either, because if you cover up your nubs, those little bits where your keyring hooks are going to go through, I call them nubs. I think that's the right name for them, nubs. It's a great word, isn't it? Nubs. But you'll end up having to use a drill. And you know, I do end up, that is the one very in the middle, I slightly overfilled it, but off camera I made sure to take a little bit of that resin out. So there we go. These will be on the curing mat for another 2 hours. So here we go. And I used the excess resin for a few extra things. And first I'm going to bring out this cat. And that is really lovely, actually. That glitter is really quite nice. Now, this one's a matte mould. The Millennium Falcon is a matte mould, but I really do like that. Little bit of trimming to do on it, but I will be putting a eye hook into the end of it for it to become a really cool keyring. Isn't that funky? I really like that. And these are the little owl cameos. They're still a little bit soft, so I'm just going to leave them to the side, and I'll probably do something with them over the next couple of days. The skulls are soft. I realise this. The skulls are a little bit soft, so I'm going to leave those, and what I'll do, I'll film demoulding them probably tomorrow and put it out as a short, so you can see them then. Right, so you can see what I mean about the colour, the ones especially where it's the cats, but that's pretty. I love that one. But the ones with the moons in the background are so pretty. I really love them. I really do love them. They are so lovely. And they're so sparkly. I wish the camera could pick up just how sparkly they are. Not so sure what happened on that one. They're fully cured, but for some reason I got some of the pigment. Odd one, little bit strange. Fully cured, these were, you know. So I'm just cleaning off my finger quickly, just in case. And out comes that one. I really wish you could see how sparkly they are, and the backs of them really pick up that glitter. That holographic type glitter is crazy on the back, but the lighting just wasn't good for that to show you today, but really are very sparkly and beautiful. And I don't have any trimming to do. The only thing I do need to do is, as I said, I did manage to cover one of the nubs, but what was cool is that it was a very, very tiny little bit of a film on it. So I got the dotting tool. It's always worth trying this first before you go getting out your Dremel or drill or whatnot, is to see if it's soft enough to come through. So I always do this before thinking, oh, I need my Dremel. There we go, done. Nice little, it was just a very thin piece. I'm so impressed I don't have to do any deburring on these. So I've been adding my jump hoops and making sure that they fit nicely. These ones, they are chunky, so they do take the larger jump hoops. And I also got those, I call them cat o' nine tails. But I put a nice selection of different colours onto them. And they look fabulous, and they've all got a little charm. So the majority of them do have like little witch hats that I found, but I also found some little keys that I didn't realise I had. And I think they look really, really pretty. Just that little bit of extra, if somebody wants to hang them on a handbag, or if you're just going to have it as a nice chunky key ring. But there's one with the witch's hat. That one is so, so pretty. So I've tried tying in colours of the tassels with colours that are within the key rings. And this cat one, this cat-shaped one, has a cute little ghosty as well. The charms you can find on Amazon, and I'll I'll demold those in the week. So I hope you're inspired, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Nice and easy one today to start off our week. Love you and stay wonderfully and unapologetically weird.